Hi guys, and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Now, first of all, I'd like to start off by apologising for the audio. Due to time restraint, I am actually doing this currently on my lunch break at work. But I wanted to get this video out there, and I'm not going to have time to sit in front of my computer and do this properly as I would like to. So we're going to see how this goes. If this works, I may be able to do something like this in the future for deck reviews. So we are talking about my 4 strength for the win red blue meta killer deck. Now, as you can see from on the right hand side, this went really well on YouTube. A lot of people were commenting and talking about it, and it was good. It's a really good deck, and basically I just want to run through a bit about it, what's in it, and how and why I built this deck. So first of all, I'm going to start off down here. So we're only running 17 uninkables. I didn't want to go any higher than that. This is pushing it close to the limit, but I was happy with 17. So let's run through the cards themselves. So the idea for this deck, hence 4 strength for the win, was at my locals there's a lot of red blue. There was about 4 players playing it, and I was struggling with it every week. It's one of those decks. It's a really good deck, and if they get the right cards in the right moment, it just crushes you. So I built this deck to basically play around that and try and get one up on the red blue deck. This still does relatively well into green steel because you've got a fair amount of card draw. I won a couple of games against green steel, but it is a harder matchup. Aggro's okay because you've got the Robin Hood, the Shift Robin Hood, Tinkerbell, Baboon, and songs to basically deal with it. So into aggro it's okay, but you need those shift lines. If not, you can always play the two drop Robin Hood and do the 1 ping damage each time. So there is options with this for aggro. There's options for everything else. The only deck I really struggle against with this is steel songs. So if there's a lot of steel songs in your locals or what you're going to be playing up against, I wouldn't recommend this deck because it does suffer from that. So let me run you through it. So the idea was to, obviously, like I say, get round red blue. So the first card is the Channel Followers. Nice, simple, safe turn 1 play. You've got that card draw. Whether you want it straight away or whether you're going to save it for a later date. You can, obviously, if they don't have a character, which 90% of the time red blue don't on their turn 1 play, you can leave it on the board and quest a couple of times before you banish it and draw a card. Broom is an option, but I wanted to go Churnabogs because I wanted to be able to play characters to draw, and then I also wanted to be able to use the draw when I want to. So if, argument's sake, you draw into 2 rabbits and, I don't know, let's say a Zeus, right? So you say you 4 cards in your hand and they're all uninkable, you can't ink to then play something. So the issue is then you can't play a character to banish the broom. Whereas with Chernobog, you can quest with it, banish it, and you may draw an inkable, which you then can ink to play a card. So it gives you flexibility in that sense. So that's why I went Chernobog over the broom. So then we've got the 1 drop Robin Hood just as a staple. Now there is only 2 of them just because I wanted to lift the 1 cost cards up a little bit. I wasn't happy with just having 4. A lot of people think 6 is still too low. My argument is if you're playing on curve, you're only going to play a 1 drop technically once in the game. Apart from that, you're only going to use them as filler to play, like if you've got 5 ink, you'll play a goat on a 1 drop, for instance, but 90% of the time, you're not going to be playing a 1 drop, it's ink, so I don't want too many of them in my deck. Moving on from that, we've got, I'm going to butcher this guy's name, but Argus. Now, he's here because he has 4 strength. So it can't be banished by Sisu, it can't be banished by Madame Medusa, obviously without Ice Block. But if they want to use Ice Block and banish this, I'm happy with that. It's a 2 cost card at the end of the day, and it's inkable. It's a great tech card. Well, it's not even a tech card, I include 4 of, 4x straight away. Now, this works so well into Sisu. You play this turn 2, they play Sisu turn 3. And this is sitting on the board. It's basically a case of if you want to quest with your CC or do anything with it, I'm going to kill it. I don't care running this in. I don't care if it dies. This is there to kill Sisu. In different matchups, you might ink it, but the other day I was playing a blue steel deck, so a sapphire steel deck against, and they played, no, sorry, it was an amethyst deck, sorry, and they played Queen's Castle. 2 of these into Castle, nice and easy. So it's a stronger card. I think it's a little bit slept on in a minute. I think it may pick up traction as people realise that strength can be a little bit more important than your willpower, your health. So that's why that's in there. The 4x of the 2-drop Robin Hood is there because no one expects you to shift onto that one. Everyone expects the 1-drop. So everyone doesn't see the 1-drop come down. They don't think you're going to have Robin Hood. You play this one, and because it has a action of exert to do a damage, everyone thinks, well, you're not going to do anything with that. You know, it's there to use the action. Well, yes, it is, but it's also there for me to shift onto. So I find it's another great target. It has free health over 2, which means it's not as easily removed. Yes, Smash gets rid of it, but you know, it's a lot harder. Grab a sword doesn't get rid of it. A boom, fire the cannons, you know, there's all those little tech cards, doesn't get rid of it. You need that free hit to be able to get rid of it before I can shift. So I have a couple of times where I've been playing against certain matchups, I've actually used the 1 ping, then shifted onto it. I know then I can't quest for 2 with the other Robin or do anything with the other Robin, but I wanted to get the other Robin on the board, but I also wanted the 1 ping of damage because the 1 thing I hit wasn't exerted, so I couldn't attack it anyway. So I just did that, saves me taking damage, and it means that I get my Robin on board. So that is an option with this. It's quite nice. It works. We are running the Jafar package. When I say Jafar package, there's 4 of them. That's it. Well, and the big Jafar, obviously. I'm not going to go heavy into it. I haven't got the 2-drop Jafar, the 4, you know, and all that lot. It is simply there as if I have it, great. If I don't, I don't. There are multiple cards in this deck that quest for 2. I don't need Jafar as my win con. He's not my win con. He's just there of, if I play this and I have this in hand and you do not get rid of it, there's a high potential with Whole New World. Ooh, I'm trying to circle this without moving it, but it's not going to work. Or friends, that I am basically going to gain a lot of lore next turn. Especially when you go into the fact you've got Rabbit in this deck, so you can quite easily get another card there. And Queen's Castle, you can gain cards there. So Jafar in this deck is there as a threat, but it's not there as your win con. You haven't got a, you know, it's play Jafars, quest with Jafars, you know. It is very much a, if it sticks, and it's deadly. If it doesn't matter, there's other ways to win. The 12 Merlin Crab is just to help boost things up, so stick it on a Chernobog, you know the idea with the Merlin Crab. The crab's crab. So Merlin, again, great, a staple in every single Amethyst. Merlin Rabbit, again, staple in every Rabbit. Now, as you can see from this, I don't run the bounce package. I think I might have done it in the video. I can't remember how old it is, but I took it out. Now, the reason I took it out is because on turn 3, I either want to be playing Jafar or shifting on Robin, really. I don't really want to be bouncing something. My turn 1, 2 and 3, I don't really want to bounce. The only thing I would bounce is Merlin or Rabbit, and that feels a little bit awkward in this deck. It doesn't, I found it was inconsistent and I ended up inking her a lot of time, so therefore I removed it. It's been running just as good without it. Don't get me wrong, the rush is nice, but with the songs in this deck I don't think you really need it. The bell, now this is one that a few people commented on, and this is here as a bit of a tech card. It's there to help me with those awkward to deal with characters. So if you come into a matchup where they're also running Robin Hood, I can run my Robin Hood into them to do 3 damage. I can then play Bell, heal Robin Hood by 3, my Robin Hood, move the damage off of my Robin Hood onto theirs, and because it's moved damage, not attacked, it means their Robin Hood doesn't draw a card. So I basically take theirs out, mine survives, and I gain, I don't think I gain 2 lore, do I? No, because it's not banished. But it's basically you trade your Robin for their Robin, but mine doesn't take any damage. Again, it's there for other reasons as well. Like you say, you can use it in multiple ways. If you play Tinkerbell, for instance, the next turn you can play Bell, you can actually move one from one of theirs to another one of theirs. So if something has 3 damage on and you play Tink, it goes up to 4, and then you can play Bell and move the 1 damage from something that doesn't need it across to that 4 to make it 5. So you don't have to move it from your side to theirs, you can move it within their own board as well. So, which a lot of people I don't think realise with it is, you know, you have to really read some of these cards to make sure you're using them to their, you know, full potential. And that has come in handy a couple of times, especially with Grab a Sword. Being able to do 2 to everything and then move 2 of that damage across to something else to kill a 4 health. So again, only 2 of them, but definitely come in handy. The Beast is back. He was there early in set 1, and then we got Benja, but in this deck, because he's 4 strength, he survives most of the red attack, and he costs 2. Simple as, and he removes items. So literally it is their worst card. It's perfect. Champo, again, 4 strength, bodyguard, 7 willpower's a lot to get through. Robin Hood doesn't need an induction, neither does Tinkerbell, neither does Jafar. But you can quite clearly see the pattern here of 4 strength, 4 strength, 4 strength, 4 strength, 4 strength. Robin's the only miss outlier here with 3, but he's mainly there for the shift target and then sing Holy World or sing Grab a Sword or sing something or damage and gain 2. So yes, he gets removed easier, but we're talking 4, 4, and then a lot of 4s at the top end, and that does just stop that Sisu play, and it stops the Madame Medusa play. Yes, they could have Ice Block on board, but the chances are if you've got 2 of these characters and they can only Ice Block 1 of them. So it is, and it is good, and it does work. You know, you can go and watch the videos to see it's there for a reason, and it does work. Only 2 action cards, which is Baboon, just to get rid of in the Steel Emerald matchup. You can get rid of Bucky, not Bucky, sorry. You can get rid of Diablo. You can remove a couple of other cards with it, and it's nice just to have that 2 extra damage, especially into a location. So if they play a location and Argus or whatever his name is can't quite finish it, you can stick 2 on it, or you know, it's multiple reasons to be in there, and it's inkable, so why not? 4 friends, obvious. 4 Holy World, obvious. 3 Grab a Sword. You could run 4 and drop a Zeus if you wanted to, but most of the time the players and the decks I come across are more wide than they are tall, so I prefer Grab a Sword over Zeus, hence why there's only 2 Zeus. But Zeus again, another great card, and then 4 Queen's Castle, which again is another staple in Amethyst. So that's it. That's my idea behind it, and that's why I built it in the way I built it. Like I say, I basically went onto Deck Builder and sorted by 4 strength or higher, looked at it and went, oh, well, Jafar, Tink and Bell and Beast, this could be quite a nice combo, and it kind of evolved from there. So I've seen it on a couple of other videos, so I'm going to do the same. So let's simulate this to show you how I've been running the mulligan, if this will work, which it should do. My internet might not be great out here. Oh, there we go. Simulate. Okay, so new game. Like I say, my internet may not be great. There we go. Okay, so I mean, that's a kind of an obvious one. That would go back, that would go back, that would go back. Depending on who you're playing. Now this is situational. If you're playing aggro, then you kind of need to put Goat and Queen's Castles back. If you're not, you could keep them. In most cases here, I would probably put the Goat back. You want Goat late play. He's just there to, you know, get you over the line with a little 1 here, 1 there sort of thing. To be honest, with no 2-drop in hand, I would probably get rid of Queen's Castle, but I wouldn't get rid of Friends. If you're playing against Emerald Steel, you may get rid of Friends because it's a song. And going first, if you were going first, you wouldn't get Friends out before they play Ursula to potentially get rid of it. but for argument's sake, we're going to keep it in this sense. And that's not bad. That worked out quite well. So here I would probably ink the Robin Hood. Seems like a relatively easy ink, really. Play Chernabog, and then the next turn, depending on what you draw, obviously you could burst the Chernabog and play Argus, whatever his name is. I'm going to butcher that forever. And then you've got Jafar to start that threat. So yeah, and then Jafar can sing Friends, and so on and so forth. So it seems like, like you say, it's relatively consistent. The inkables are in here, but they're not too bad. Trying to draw in 3 Jafars is mental. Again, not too bad. We hit the 1-drop this time. So this time I would probably, depending on the matchup again, I would probably ink Argus, play Robin, and then I'd ink Jafar, play the other Robin to give you 2 shift targets, so that way if they took one out, you got the other. And it also means that he could do 1 damage to something, and he could finish a 4 if they have a 4. If not, he can attack into it, and you've got him sitting on the board to do ping damage. And then from there, obviously, you got your rabbit, and so on and so forth. So, thank you very much for watching, guys. This has been the deck. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I say, I apologise now if the audio is not great. I am doing this on my lunch break in my car. But there we go. That is the deck. I will leave a link to it below. The videos are on YouTube. The first one was very close. I misplayed. Whether I would have won, I don't know. Potentially, especially since I missed 2 lore from Queen's Castle. So technically I should have been on 19 when I lost. So I think I would have won that. But it is what it is. Half the reason I record is to spot the misplays and correct them. And then game 2 I did win. Hence why on YouTube there's round 3. But it was a very long game, and it's one of those controversial ones because I may have called a judge in most situations. In set champs or challenger, I probably would have called judge over, due to the fact it's just locals and it's with a friend that I know. I'm not going to call judge on him, but let me know your thoughts. Drop a comment on either this video or on the round 2 video itself. Let me know, would you have called a judge? So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll speak to you in the next one.